So it can be a little bit awkward at times, but it means a lot to be able to have my daughter.
Well, the reason why I describe this as being developmental problems in children, that's all I need to hear. Oh, that was enough for like the EU to ban it? Great, we should ban it too. Huh? What? And then this is also failing to recognize that the reason I also pulled up that chatter was to talk about the fact that this is also the entirety of the conversation about autism or ADHD or whatever. It's failing to recognize the fact that if you don't test for something, you won't have people with those illnesses. And if you test for those things, you will find more people with those things. Because if you're not testing, how are you going to know that it exists? It's not that autistic people suddenly started coming out of the woodworks. It's that autistic people have always been around. We just didn't have a word for it, or like we didn't care about diagnosing it ever. It was just, oh, wow, here is this kid that's very obsessed with these things. And kind of maybe, I'm not saying this has to be, this is the only archetype of an autistic kid, to be very clear. This is one archetype because autism is a spectrum. But like, here's this kid who maybe struggles to get along with other kids and only is really interested in these few things, and things outside of that comfort zone are very difficult. Maybe they're some type of neurodivergent. And in the past, it's like, hey, stop being a freak, Billy. It's like, oh, okay. I love to pull up, and you guys know I've pulled this up 100 times, but like, just because the only kids that were diagnosed with autism were kids that needed, or people that needed a high support system, it doesn't mean that neurodivergent people or people on the spectrum weren't always around. We just didn't bother to diagnose kids who could do relatively well in school and could make like one or two friends. If you could make like one or two friends and you did okay in school and you were mostly capable of like effectively masking, no one was going to diagnose you. And I love to pull up, I don't know if anyone can guess what I'm about to pull up. I love to pull up this video. Inside the 40-year-long Dungeons & Dragons game.
Remember that game of D&D you started when you were 11? What if it never stopped?
My name is Robert Wardoff. I'm a history professor at the University of Western Ontario. I am a dungeon master for a campaign that has been going on for 40 years.
What began in secret with a few friends has turned into a game that takes up much of Robert's life and most of his house. Robert has around 30,000 hand-painted figurines, countless custom-made pieces of terrain, and dozens of devoted players taking part in his campaign.
If you're going to keep a game going for 40 years, it's going to have to be a good game. If you're going to have people who are going to want to play and are going to want to fly in, you're going to have to offer a product that is going to be better than all the other alternatives that are out there. I can certainly say with confidence that this is the best Dungeons & Dragons game in the world.
Yeah, the guy with 30,000 figurines. This guy is definitely neurotypical in every way. Like, we just didn't diagnose people who could mostly fit in with the rest of society. We just didn't do that. It's like, oh, okay, well, you can hold a job. You can communicate with other people. Like, he has like, I don't know if he's still married or what, but his daughter joined the campaign. He talks about how, like, this is the most autistic interaction. Well, this is like top 10 most autistic interactions you can ever see in a person. Let me show you guys. Here it is.
People's heart rates are up. There's emotion going on. So I can't be shocked and surprised when that character dies that there's a show of emotion.
Here, this part.
Down on the side here. I have one daughter, and ever since she was a baby, she's been around this. I think maybe when she was 6 or 7 was the first time when she asked whether she could play. So she created a character as a fairy, and she still plays now. She's 20 years old. I mean, obviously, there's other stuff going on in her life, but she's been playing all the way through. The interesting thing happens when she starts dating and then her boyfriend wants to play. And of course, I have to tell her straight off the go, now, this relationship may not last forever, but the game's gonna last forever. So get ready, because I'm anticipating a situation when you break up with him, I can't break up with him. So once I allow somebody to come into the game, I'm never ever gonna stop them from playing the game. So sure enough, that situation happened. And so it can be a little bit awkward at times, but it means a lot to be able to have my daughter.
Well, the reason why I describe this as being an autistic quality or behavior is because neurotypical people I have found in my life, they will very strictly follow social rules no matter what. Even in instances where they don't want to follow the social rules, they will follow the social rules. And the social rules are you protect your own and you don't care. You care less about your interests than about this obvious social rule, which is once someone breaks up, everyone else is supposed to break up with that person too. All the friends and family members also have to break up with them. And he's like, well, listen, I will be there in any way that you need, okay? But if you guys just broke up because you had a disagreement and neither of you did anything wrong, I can't stop him from playing. You didn't do anything wrong. Like, you wanted more from that relationship. Okay. But like, why should I make him stop playing? I don't understand. Like, what should I don't feel the same pressures as a lot of neurotypical people. And I found this as well with neurodivergent people I've met in my life and autistic people that I've met in my life. They just don't care at all, or they care a lot less about like social pressures, or are very confused by social pressures, where it's like, but why should I give a fuck about that, huh? Well, did he do anything? Like, did he put his hands on you? Oh, you guys just argued or something and he doesn't get you enough flowers? Okay, but how does that, so why would that impact my D&D game? But I like his character, so I don't know how that impacts my D&D game. What was I trying to say? History professor is also a very autism friendly profession. Yeah. Well, and then also like, I think this is a good opportunity to say, and I want this to be a learning opportunity. As Shatter said, this is so mean for you to pull up in that context. Well, no, because I don't think being autistic is an insult. Like, I don't think it has to be, and I don't think it should be an insult. It's not insulting. It's correctly describing something. I view it the same way as describing something or someone as being a brunette. Like, you are a brunette. If your hair grows in brown, you're a brunette. If your hair grows in blonde, you're blonde. Like, it's not a disparaging comment. It's not like I'm like, oh, brunettes, filthy brunette. Like, no, that's just an accurate. Maybe somebody else is using it that way. I don't know, but that's just accurately describing someone. It's like describing someone and being like, this is a white person. It's like, doesn't have to be an insult. Now, within the context of someone bringing a dish at a potluck, and then the one dish at the potluck that has raisins in it is the chicken salad or the potato salad, I'm going to be like, which white person brought this? I might say that. But saying that someone is on the spectrum is not inherently, or has to be, or should be, anything other than a descriptor. Right? Also, maybe I'm just partial, but like, I'm not going to lie, guys. All of the people that I've ever been close to in my life, especially in my adult life, and have become really good friends with and have wanted to be really good friends with, every single one of these people has told me that they have gotten an autism diagnosis. So quite the contrary, actually. I feel like I get along with neurodivergent people very well. And I feel like I'm a blunt person, so I like to say, hey, this is where I stand on these things. And I find that neurodivergent people tend to prefer that. They tend to prefer you telling them what the rules are, and then they can follow those exact rules instead of some like vague social rules of like, you were just supposed to know this or something. So never met a neurotypical person who read Homestuck. I know for sure I have ADHD. Okay, chat. That I know for sure. So yeah, like I just said 2 seconds ago, I don't think it has to be like an insult, and I never use it as, I never describe things as being autistic as an insult. I describe them in a way that I think is accurate to describe them. Almost like kind of in an endearing manner, more than anything else. I told my therapist I think I have ADHD, and she was like, I know. Of course, Denims is neurodivergent. She reads textbooks in her free time. Anyways. All right, but the rest of this video is really good. I think it breaks down some of the problems with the original research that started all of this. You guys should definitely watch the rest of it because it is really good.